last and final presentation for today is essentially the unveiling of our new shared work space that we've developed at the FreeMind Group based on many years of gathering feedback from our clients, understanding that we must meet up with the digital age, knowing that passing documents back and forth by email has run its course in this day and age. So while it's not built on blockchain or using bitcoins, it's definitely the penultimate platform for any document sharing, which is Microsoft SharePoint. Microsoft has been developing this solution for a few years now. Enables really anything you'd like to do with a Microsoft document, and let's be honest, the whole world uses Microsoft. So we use this platform and essentially created or customized the SharePoint solution for our specifications, understanding that still 95% of what we do, 90% of what we do, I would say, is at the end of the day reviewing documents, sharing documents with our clients back and forth, and we wanted this one centralized location. The other 10% of what we do is a lot of the macro discussion, the fluff, so to speak. So what you see here is the homepage of an example demo therapeutics, if you will. And here, any company, or rather each client, would receive this site containing their project pipelines on the left, on the bottom left. What projects are they working on? What sort of scientific activities are there? You can also summarize the projects, the application submissions, and view your strategy, visualize your strategy in a Gantt chart. And I'll show you how all this is built and how it basically reflects the workflow that we have internally. So it really streamlines the workflow. We'll start by going to the profile. This essentially summarizes some key information about the company, where is it located, time zones, eligible for the SBI or not, and just some general information that you can fill out. Next, we'll look at the background material. Once we kick off a program, a project, an engagement with a client, the first order of business is really to share information. We need one centralized location to upload all these documents and enable our client strategists to review this information. So here you can see a very simple tree, document tree. For example, if you'd like to add any information and you have full access to this, you could go ahead and open a new folder, create a folder, or if you'd like to, you can even drag and drop very easily from your desktop or from any other folder straight into the background material. Our client strategists have access to this background material and it could just review it as they please. Next is to create the pipeline project or the project pipeline reflecting what the company has internally. So we have developed a form, a dynamic form that essentially allows us, it's sort of a questionnaire that allows the company together with the client strategist outline the various project pipeline projects. So of course the project name, indication, very important to mention what product type is it? Is it a formulation? Is it a medical device, etc.? What type, chemical, biological, and so on. And very important, what is the current stage of development? Because at the end of the day, you're asking for money going forward, which if you look on the left-hand side, you could see that we list out all the activities that require further development. You outline your collaborators and also add the project description on the bottom, allowing our client strategists to review this and ultimately create the pipeline projects. Once they have an understanding of your pipeline project and they have an understanding of or they can read through the background material, they go ahead and develop your strategy. The initial list of funding opportunities we actually conduct externally to this system using Salesforce, which is an amazing system in itself. Fully customized for our specifications. I'll give you an example of a document that comes out. It would be a strategic assessment. Basically gives you a list of all available funding opportunities for each pipeline project. And this is then translated into sort of a list of funding opportunities that we would like to pursue. So for each pipeline project, for example, breast cancer, we will work on the parent R1, parent SBIR in this case. What is the FOA? You can click on a link and go find the FOA itself. When are we going to initiate the program? We need to plan ahead. When are we going to submit the program? And this ultimately turns into the Gantt chart, which you can then print out, put up over your bedpost, view it regularly, and of course the strategy is updated constantly based on opportunities that come out. I believe it was Portnoy who mentioned the listserv. That comes out every single week, so if there's anything relevant to our clients, we update them. Next will be to work on applications. At the end of the day, we prepare applications and submit applications. So here you have a summary of all the projects that this company supposedly is working on, the project name, type, etc., due date, and so on. Let's choose, for example, the first one. And this is what the project page looks like. On the top left, sort of summarizing what project type, deadline, what is the status currently, who is the consultant working with you, you have their email there, who is the group leader, each one of our consultants has oversight by a group leader, and ultimately the client strategist that also oversees the program. On the left-hand side, the tree, the root directory showing all the various items that you need to work through. And on the right-hand side, a checklist, a detailed checklist showing you what exactly, or rather outlining who is in charge of what item. We can change up the status as well. On the left-hand side, the bottom left, you can see recent documents. Anytime a document is updated, it goes up to the top of the list. Very easy to see who updated it last and when this had occurred. Finally, if you want to change the status, now if you'd like to see how it looks in terms of working on the document, we could go into the abstract, for example. You could go ahead and open it in Word, which we highly recommend. Opens locally on your computer and is still linked to the cloud. Or you can open up in Word Online and do your editing in Word Online. The only caveat to doing it online, Word Online, is that it does not show track changes. And in our case, that is pertinent. While it does record the changes, it does not show the track changes. We've written Bill and asked him to add that feature. So let's say you want to share your document externally or with a colleague. You can hit share, and that gets sent to them to their email. Or if you do not want your collaborator to have access to your full portal, you can go ahead and share that document externally. They could work on it, saves automatically, they close it, it's already there and all done. Finally, if you want to change the status of the checklist, very easy to do so. Change it to completed. At the end of the project, it's all green and ready to go. Lastly, this is just to show you what sort of intricate, the background, how intricate the background of the project is. When we open a new project for a company, we essentially select what type of project it is. That brings us the checklist together with the template. Now remember, these are our templates that we develop. It's sort of the basis of the work. And once we choose this, then the consultant would prepare, or rather go into each document and then customize that document for the client, adding any information, creating the first draft, if you will. Select the project due date, enter the RFA, enter the other rest of the information, and then we get the project. So all very quick, very streamlined, and really easy to maneuver. Another feature which we realized is very important to any company. The reason is every few days we get an email, so what is my password for the ERA Commons, and how do I actually access the sam.gov? So we figured we'll build a centralized location where you can store all your passwords. So here's an example of a few passwords that a company may need, and quite easy to create. Also worth noting, some within the organization do not like to share their passwords within the organization. So what we do is we protect it, or rather we added a feature that is able to protect the password. For example, a PI wants to protect their password, they can add a password to the password. And that password has a password. And if you'd like to protect that password, then stored in here. So here's an example of protecting that password, and then it gets unlocked, and there it is. Opening a new password, very, very easy. Creating a password, we've got all the various passwords that you need to create, so that's also sort of a work process to show you what passwords you need to create in order to log into all the various portals. Finally, well, this would be how it would look. Finally, some odds and ends that could be useful for anyone using the system. Some news updates. Our blog has all the latest trends and news, etc. Our Twitter feed, as well as updates from the NIH on the right-hand side, show all the updated solicitations that come out every so often. If you click on one of our blog posts, you can go directly to that blog post, and you can read the blog regardless, whenever you like. It's fascinating. We conclude here with the feedback. So this solution that we created is really a reflection of what we perceived to be the most important features of working with a client online in a centralized location. We're always open to feedback, so anytime, or rather we highly encourage anyone using the system to go ahead and send us some feedback in that respect. That's really the essence of it. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is create one centralized location where we could all communicate. We're also adding some other features, texting each other, other ideas that have come up over time. We've concluded a pilot trial internally with a number of clients. The feedback has been great. We're now going to roll it out over the next few weeks to the rest of our 150 some odd right now, and continue gathering feedback and continue improving. And really happy that you all stayed around and listened. And thank you very much. That essentially, yeah, thank you. That essentially concludes our Non-Dilutive Funding Summit. Great turnout today. No, really, it was fantastic. Record attendance, record registration. We're very happy, and thank you very much.